So hello guys, in this video I would like to show you how you can install Prometheus, Node Exporter and Grafana to monitor your machines and your services. Prometheus will be used as a data source in Grafana, and Node Exporter is a packet of Prometheus, and it offers more specific metrics about your machine, such as CPU usage and memory usage and so on. And Grafana will be used as a tool for visualization. So let's go. First, we install Prometheus. For that, in browser, Prometheus, I just type Prometheus and press enter. And we scroll down until https://prometheus.io. That is the official website of Prometheus. I click on it, and after that we go to download, and under download we can select our operating system. So I want to install it on Linux, and I select Linux, and that is the architecture AMD 64, and as you see we have only the file for Linux. So that is the file that we need. Now you have two options to download this file. You can or click on it and download it, and after that go to downloads folder and unpack the file there, or you can make a right click on that and copy the link of this file and go to your terminal and download it with the use of wget command. I would use the wget command, so I use this method. And as I told, I use always the serve folder for installing any applications, any tools, and any new servers. So I change to this directory cd-srv and enter, and here I download the file with the use of sudo wget, and I paste the URL, that is the URL of the file, and after that I just press enter. So the file will be downloaded, and we have to wait a little bit. So now the file is downloaded. If I make a list here, you can see that we have a tar file, and it is for Prometheus. Now we have to unpack this file with sudo tar -xvf and Prometheus and the downloaded file, and I press enter, and it will be unpacked. If I now make a list, sorry, you can see that we have the unpacked file also here, and from now on we can remove the tar file because we don't need it anymore. So now we have the unpacked file. I clear here. Now I go to Prometheus, and we can have a look what we have here. For starting Prometheus, you need this Prometheus. That is a script for starting, and you can start Prometheus just simply by // and Prometheus. If I press enter right now, Prometheus will be started and will be installed. But in this video, I would like to install Prometheus as a service, so that I can simply use with the use of systemctl service stop or start, I can stop or start my service. So before, if you want to install any tool as a service, you have to configure a new file for that service under cd etc systemctl and system. Here you see that all the services are here with the in service format. We need also something like this for our Prometheus, so we create a new service file. I use nano, but you can use whatever you want to edit this new file. I would select Prometheus as the name of this file because it's about Prometheus, but you can use any name that you want here, but don't forget the format must be service. And now I press enter, the file will be open, and we define Prometheus as a service like this. First unit block. Under unit we need a description for our new service. Description will be Prometheus. You can also set any description that you want for this service. After network minus online dot targets, and after that we need a service block. So in this block we should configure where the running script is accessible, and also we need a type. Type would be here simple, and execute execute a start, and here we should give the pad that our starting script is. So Prometheus. So it was under this pad we can start Prometheus, so we gave also this pad here, and we need an install block also. Under install, wanted by multi-user dot target. So the configuration file for Prometheus as a system looks like this. Description, after, type, and execute start, and wanted by. So I just save this file by pressing Ctrl and X, and here if we type Y and press enter, the file will be saved. If I now make a list here, you see that we have a new file, and that is prometheus.service. That is our new configuration file. Because we have a new configuration file here, now we should reload the daemon. So for this step, you should be worried, you should pay attention to something. If you have too many services that's running, too many tools, too many servers that's running as services under system, before reloading the daemon, you have to discuss it with your system administrator in your organization. So I make a daemon-reload, and after that we start our service, and we look if it runs or not. Sudo systemctl daemon-reload, and I press enter, and after that sudo systemctl start our service var prometheus.service. I press enter and we look what happens. Now we go to status. So it is not running. There is a problem here, and the problem is okay, we have forgot this configuration file. Sorry, we have to add this configuration file in the system also. So I open the configuration file and execute will be that, and after that we paste just the config file. That is the configuration file prometheus.yaml. This is the configuration file of Prometheus. So I save the file one more time with just pressing Control and X and Y, and it is now done. So one more time, we have made a change in services, so we have to reload them one more time, and we restart Prometheus again, and we check the status. So there is one other problem, and the problem is does no such file or directory. Okay, yeah, sorry, I have made a mistake here. So you see that is the URL. That is the URL for this file, and we have to give this URL also. I just make a copy of that, and we go to etc. and sudo nano prometheus. Yeah, exactly. I've made a mistake here, and I paste prometheus.yol. Okay, save, and one more time sudo systemctl daemon-reload. If you make any changes, you have to reload daemon, and we start Prometheus one more time, and after that we just check the status. So now you see Prometheus is running, and if I go to browser and I try to access Prometheus, we should be able to access it. So under http learner, the default port of Prometheus is 1990, so I give this port, and as you see, Prometheus is now running on our machine as a system, and we can use our terminal more. So Prometheus under status, under targets, you see that Prometheus is installed and can and here is the metrics, and if I click on it, here Prometheus offers us so many metrics that we can use to monitor our machines. The metrics about networks, about endpoints, and things like that. Now Prometheus is running. After that we want to use Node Exporter also. Node Exporter, as I said, offers more specific metrics about our machines, like memory usage, like CPU usage, and so on. So we install Node Exporter also. Node Exporter, if we go to the website of Prometheus, you see there are different packages for Prometheus, and you can install any package that you want. For this package, that is Node Exporter, and we want to install this package also, and you can find it simply in the official website of Prometheus. So again, you can click on it and download it, or you can use sudo wget command. I prefer to use this command, and I download the file sudo wget and just paste the URL, and I press enter. Okay, Node Exporter is also installed, you see here. So we have to unpack it also. Sudo tar -xvf, and this time Node Exporter, and I press enter, and if I make a list, you see Node Exporter is also unpacked, and now we can also delete the tar file. Sudo remove .tar. Okay, we have now a little bit more place, and if I go to Node Exporter, make a list, you see that is the license notice and Node Exporter that will start Node Exporter for us. If I again type ./Node Exporter and press enter, Node Exporter will be started. But in this video, I would like to install Node Exporter also as a service. I just make a copy of this URL. We need it just in some seconds, and I go to systemctl, etc. system, and this time we need exactly a file in service format for our Node Exporter. I use again sudo nano, and this time the file will be node_exporter.service. You can again choose any name that you want, only the format must be service, and I press enter. And here we configure again the configuration file for Node Exporter as a service. First unit, after that this description will be Node Exporter or whatever you want. After network minus online dot targets, and now we need a service block, and under service type simple again, and execute start will be /node_exporter. If I'm right, but we can check it and change it if it is not true. Install, and after that wanted by multi-user user dot target. So I save this file by pressing Ctrl and X, and I tap Y and I press Enter. And if I make a list here, this time we have a node underline exporter dot service. So we have changed this area, so we should one more time make a daemon-reload, because as I said, anytime that you set any file in this area, you have to make a daemon-reload with sudo systemctl daemon-reload. Daemon will be reloaded, but don't forget it, you have to discuss it with your system administrator in your organization. Sudo, this time we start our node exporter service, and I press enter, and we check if it runs. So you see node exporter is running, and node exporter will be by default, if I'm right, under, so here we try to access it, http learner I think 9110 is the default port of node exporter. No, it was not. Default port of, we can check default port of node exporter. Okay, sorry, here I have made a mistake. So that is the default port of node exporter, and you see that node exporter runs, and here are the metrics that node exporter offers us, and we can also use our terminal. So right now we have installed Prometheus under port 9090, and we have installed node exporter under port 9100. Most of the services are running, but we have to configure something else. Both of the services are running, but Prometheus cannot realize that. Prometheus, we have to configure node exporter in Prometheus, so that Prometheus can use it. So at this moment, as you see, both of them are running. So we have to configure node exporter in Prometheus so that Prometheus can use the metrics of node exporter. So I go to Prometheus, we had the file here, make a list, and as you see, we have a prometheus.yaml file. This is the configuration file of Prometheus. I open this file with sudo nano prometheus.yaml, and I press enter, and I scroll down. Here under, you see the job name. The job name is Prometheus. That is for alerting. And if you want to define any rules, yet now I don't want to go deeply in this thema, but if you want to define the rules for Prometheus, and here job name and other targets, we have to, as you see, port 9090 is here, and we have to add also our Prometheus, our node exporter, sorry. So I just add the URL under this URL, as you have seen, were our node exporter accessible. So I just add it here, and I save this file. I type Y and I press enter. The file is saved now, and we have to restart Prometheus one more time, so that it can it uses the new configuration. Restart Prometheus.service, and we check the start tools. If everything is okay, start tools, so Prometheus is running. And this time, if I go to Prometheus and make a refresh, you see that now we can use node exporter also in our Prometheus. So we have installed Prometheus, we have installed node exporter as a packet for Prometheus for a specific metrics. Now we want to install Grafana also as a visualization tool for our Prometheus. Of course, you can already use the metrics of Prometheus sorry, here, and you can use the visualization facility of Prometheus itself, but I would rather to use Grafana, because Grafana offers a better visualization, and you have there so many better access, better possibilities. Sorry, I just forgot the word. Possibilities to use it. So, for example, if I type node underline CPU and the seconds total, and I execute it, you see that this metric, it works as a counter and keeps track of how long the CPU spends in each mode in seconds. And if you want, you can click also, this is a table, you can click also on graph, and as a graph here you can see it. But as I said, I don't want to use this graph, the graph of Prometheus, and I would like to use Grafana. So we install Grafana right now. For this, I go to the browser and I type Grafana and I press enter. The official website of Grafana is grafana.com, so I click on it. After that, I make the window a little bit wider. After that, I go again to Grafana and I just click on Grafana, and this time I go to download here and I click on download, and you see here we can download Grafana on our system. Now it is again up to you for which operating system you want to use it, but in this case I want to install it on Ubuntu, so I select Ubuntu, and they are the commands that we can with them we can install Grafana. Here you can also use these commands and download and install Grafana exactly like a service like Prometheus and Node Exporter. but this time we use here these commands to download and to install Grafana. So the first command, I just make a copy, and here I just clear here a little bit. So I paste the command. This command will install this packet for us. This is a library font config. This is a library for font configuration, and it does not depend on the X Windows system, and is designed to locate fonts within the system and select them according to requirements specified by applications. So I press enter and OK. After that, we select the next command. With this command, we make a copy, and with this command, we download the file. Again, here under serve, and I press enter. So if I make a list here, okay, permission denied, it's not downloaded, so I do it one more time, but this time with sudo, and you see that the file will be downloaded, and we just wait. Okay, the file is downloaded, and we have to unpack it. We have to install it with the last command. I just paste it here. So about dpkg, you may have a question. dpkg is a software at the base of the package management system in Debian, and is used to install, to remove, and to get information about Debian packages. And you see that is a Debian package. So we use this command to install it, and I just press enter, and we wait until it will be installed. So now if we check with sudo systemctl status Grafana, so Grafana is installed, but it is not running. If I status restart Grafana, and one more time status, you see that Grafana is also running, and the default URL of Grafana is, if I'm right, 3000. Under this port, Grafana will be accessible. If I click it, you see that here is the login page of Grafana. For the first time, there is no user, and the default user is admin, and also the default password is admin. I just give both of them, and I log in. So now we can set our desired password. For that, I give a password simply here, and again the password, and I submit. It will be submitted, and we are in Grafana right now. So you see that Grafana is also running, and if I go to configuration here, the configuration to data source, add a data source, I click on it, we would say Prometheus. So here Prometheus by default it is the URL here, and we should give the URL of our Prometheus. So our Prometheus was under 1990 accessible, so I just gave this URL also. And here you can choose browser, and will be removed in the future release. Okay, you can server default, this is not so important. And if I click on save and test, you see that data source updated, data source is working. It means that now Grafana can use Prometheus as a data source. And now if you try to add a dashboard, I don't want to go in this subject right now and how it works. Now I don't want it, just simply for example, we had this metric here. I just copy it and I come to Grafana, and under query I paste the metric, and beside that I would paste also mode, and after that equals idle, and after that if we put all of them in a parentheses, it will be better. So you see that here the matrix works, and it gives us the same information here, but now you have the possibility to change the visualization. For example, you can use whatever you want here. Here you have more possibilities to design your Grafana, and yes, that's it. And as you see, this metric gives us also how many CPUs we have. 1, 2, 3. We have 3 CPUs, and if I go to VirtualBox under the machine, under setting, and I go to system, and under system processor, you see that here we have 3 CPUs. It means that everything works fine. So guys, that's it, we have done it. Thank you for watching. I would appreciate any likes and comments from your side. Thank you so much.